Today, we're really getting into a book that's huge, a true global phenomenon.
You mean Atomic Habits by James Clear?
Exactly. Millions and millions of copies sold, praised all over. We've looked at, a bunch of reviews, some analysis.
Yeah, trying to figure out why it struck such a chord.
Right. And our mission today for you is basically to boil down the core ideas, the really practical, science-backed stuff for making changes that actually stick.
The actionable takeaways.
Yeah. So let's dive in.
Okay.
So James Clear's main idea, it sounds simple, Rob. Tiny changes, these atomic habits, they compound.
Like little building blocks.
Yeah, and they add up over time to create these, remarkable results. He really hammers home, focusing on just getting 1% better every day.
Just 1%. Seems small.
It does. But here's the kicker, the really interesting part, how it compounds. He says that tiny 1% daily improvement over a year, it can make you 37 times better.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you frame it like that exponential growth.
Totally. And how does he illustrate that? You mentioned his quote.
Yes. It's a great one. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement.
Right.
It really shifts your thinking, doesn't it? Away from these massive overnight transformation attempts that often fail.
Yeah, the New Year's resolution effect.
Exactly that. Instead, you value just showing up consistently. These small, almost invisible daily gains, like investing small amounts regularly.
Okay, so that's the why, the power of compounding. But then the how. How do we actually do it? He gives us that framework.
The 4 laws of behavior change.
Yeah.
This is really the core practical advice.
Can you quickly run through them? Make it
obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying.
Right.
Each one gives you practical things you can do. Make it obvious about the cues, Put your vitamins out where you'll see them.
Where the running shoes by the door. Yeah.
Exactly. Then make it attractive. Maybe you only let yourself watch your favorite show while you're on the exercise bike. Temptation bundling.
Okay. And make it easy. That's the famous one, right?
The 2-minute rule. Yeah. Start any new habit with something that takes less than 2 minutes.
Like reading 1 page. Or doing 2 push-ups.
Precisely. It lowers the barrier to entry, gets you started. And then make it satisfying. Give yourself some immediate reward, even just like checking it off a list, that little dopamine hit.
That immediate feedback loop. It makes sense. That 2-minute rule, though, I think that resonates with so many people because it feels doable.
It totally demystifies starting something new. It's not about the 2 minutes of work. It's about becoming the type of person who shows up.
Okay, so that connects to the deeper point he makes, doesn't it? About identity.
Yes, exactly. This is crucial. He argues lasting change isn't just about what you want to achieve, like losing weight. It's about focusing on who you want to become.
An identity shift.
Right.
Right.
If you start thinking, I am a healthy person or I am a writer, then the behaviors, eating well, exercising, writing daily, they just flow more naturally from that identity. It's less about forcing yourself with willpower.
And more about just acting like the person you want to be.
You got it. It provides a much deeper sort of intrinsic motivation. That's often the game changer.
Okay, that's powerful. And beyond these big ideas, he packs the book with really practical tools, habit stacking you mentioned.
Yeah, habit stacking is great. You just chain a new habit onto one you already do without thinking.
Like after I brush my teeth, I'll floss 1 tooth.
Perfect example. Or after my morning coffee, I'll meditate for 1 minute.
Yeah.
You leverage existing routines. He also uses lots of stories, right? Athletes, business leaders.
Yeah, real world examples showing how these tiny habits drive huge success. Which brings up a point, if it's all kind of straightforward.
Right.
Why has this book exploded?
That's a fair question. Some critics do say, parts of it feel a bit obvious, maybe repetitive if you read other self-help stuff. But I think the consensus is that its strength lies in the clarity, the structure, how incredibly actionable it is.
It's not just theory, it's a manual.
Exactly. He synthesizes a lot of existing ideas, but presents them in this super clear, super practical system. That's why you hear high performers recommending it constantly. It's an effective playbook for actually doing the work.
So wrapping this up, what's the big message for you, the listener? Atomic Habits, it seems, isn't about groundbreaking secrets.
Not really, no. It's more a practical guide. A reminder that huge progress comes from embracing these small, consistent steps, often the ones that feel too small to matter.
Right. The real takeaway seems to be that massive results don't need massive action up front.
It's about mastering the small things, consistency over intensity, day in, day out.
So as you think about your own goals, maybe the question to ask yourself is, what's just one tiny atomic habit you could start today? Something small, maybe less than 2 minutes,
Yeah, what's one thing?
that could put you on that path, that compounding curve to being significantly better a year from now.